So hello, everybody. I am, let's see if this is, we're just going to have fun here. 5 different questions that you should be asking yourself to help you determine if speaking is the right way for you to be marketing your business. I get a lot of questions and a lot of comments about, I'm not sure if this is the right thing for me. So here are 5 questions that you should be thinking about and answer for yourself. 1, would getting seen by the right people help your business grow? Because when you're the speaker, when you're the booked speaker, whether it's a virtual event or whether it is an in-person event, or even if you are brought into like a high-end mastermind, a private community, when that happens, you are typically speaking to an audience filled with your ideal clients. That is, if you have, done the proper work to make sure that you are actually speaking in those right groups of people, those right communities at those right meetings. But would being seen by a group of people who are your ideal clients, whether they are at the right stage to hire you right now, or possibly they're in the earlier stage to hire you, that's one thing to consider. I think that this kind of goes with one of the other questions that I'm going to ask you, but it's very efficient to actually speak to an audience of, let's say, 25, 50 people versus posting on social media and trying to engage to make the algorithm happy, just getting out there in front of the right people, the people who have the problem that you solve. So that's one question to ask yourself. Would getting seen by the right people help you grow your business? The second question is, has it been more than 30 days since you've had a sales call on your calendar? And I know this question actually probably stings a little bit. When I first came into the online world, I had to learn all of these new rules, basically. Building a business is still the same, but there were some different rules about being here online versus when I was just speaking on stages, in leadership and corporate engagement events. But has it been more than 30 days since you've had a sales call? Because if the answer is yes, then you need to get seen by more people. You need to get seen by the right people. And I'm not talking social media posts. There are so many different forms of speaking, and you can listen to some of my previous podcast episodes where I talk about all the different types of speaking, because speaking needs to be redefined. Stages needs to be redefined. And you've probably heard me say over and over again, speaking's the fastest way to grow your business. But also it needs to blend with your business and your lifestyle. Because if you are a mom of 2 little young ones, you're probably not hopping on an airplane to travel across the globe or even across the country to go speak at a meeting unless you've got some great support at home. So there are so many different ways that you can actually be virtually speaking. It's about finding your mini stage. My podcast, live streaming, my live stream shows, these are all different forms of mini stages. But again, back to, has it been more than 30 days since you've had a sales call? The answer to that will help you decide. Because if the answer is yes, you need to get seen by the right people who can raise their hand and say, yes, I need to book a call with you. And the third question that I want you to think about, and I kind of already touched on this, is efficiency. Maybe you don't want to be working 10 hours, 12 hours a day on your business. Maybe you don't want to be scrolling on social media and you feel like, hey, this time of the year, like whether it's summertime or wintertime, like the kids are in school, the kids are out of school. There's so many different things to do in life that you may want to be enjoying. And speaking is so efficient. Again, when you are speaking in front of the right people, a group of 25, 50, 100 more people who are your ideal clients, how many of those people are going to raise their hand to say, I want to book a call with you? And if you think, yeah, but that sounds like such a far-fetched idea, my clients who learn how to craft a speech that is compelling, captivating, and most importantly, converting, routinely have people who come up to them and say, I need to book a call with you. Hand them their business cards. Yes, business cards, they still exist. Hand them business cards and say, I need to talk to you. I need to book a call with you. How do I take the next step? How do I bring you into my organization? These things happen on the regular for my clients and also my students who go through my program. It's very efficient. I had one of my clients who she spoke at a local women's networking group and stepped off the stage to 26 paid speaking events. Now, talk about a very efficient form of speaking. I mean, she probably was on stage for anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. But can you imagine, in 45 minutes, you speaking and then stepping off the stage to 26 other opportunities? Now, for you, if you're a coach or a consultant, that could be 26 jobs, 26 consulting opportunities, 26 clients. It could be a high-end client, because as the speaker in front of an audience of your ideal clients, you're seen as the expert. And let's face it, clients hire experts. They're not looking for generalists. They want to hire an expert. That's somebody who's going to help them get from point A to point B as quickly as possible. So speaking is also extremely efficient. Not only are you being seen and heard by a large number of people all at once, but there's also so many other things that go along with what happens beforehand, because people are actually looking you up. They're going to start following you on social media. They're going to join your email list. They are deciding whether or not to be in the room with you. So in order for them to decide if they want to be in the room with you, people are checking you out. And so these are people who are checking you out who might not have run into you on social media. So again, speaking puts you in front of OPA, other people's audiences, other people's platforms. Like, for example, if you're a guest on somebody's podcast, when I bring people onto my podcast, I am introducing them to my audience. And they in turn share the podcast guest episode with their audience. So now I am getting in front of their audience. Again, it's one of the most efficient forms of marketing that's out there. Number 4, are you in a busy industry? Is your industry literally like that blue ocean, or is it that red ocean? There's a book on this very topic. And if it's a busy industry, how are you standing out? How are you getting noticed? How are you getting your story heard, your solutions heard? And if you're in a busy industry, like I came from speaking in the leadership and corporate engagement industry, talk about busy. Leadership is a very busy industry, but getting seen by the right people, the people who can hire you. So if you're a coach, a consultant, or even a service-based professional, a web designer, a graphic designer, a virtual assistant, these are fabulous opportunities for you to get in front of audiences that help you stand out in an industry. And remember, everybody who's in that audience, whether that's in person or virtual, is able to not only hire you, but also refer you. So let's just take a web designer who is speaking on some elements of designing a website. They're going through their process of what you should be thinking about when you're in that market for crafting a website for the first time. Or she or he might explain, here's my unique process that I work with clients. So everybody that's in that audience might be, this is all interesting. I'm not really in the market for redoing my website, but who knows, maybe that information will spark them to say, I would like to have that conversation about what changes we could make to my website that would help me attract more clients. And also everybody that's out there becomes referral agents. So if they hear of somebody who needs a coach or a consultant or a web designer, they're going to be able to say, I heard this woman or this man speak recently at this meeting, and they'll be able to share your information with others. And the fifth question that I think you need to really consider is, are you here to impact more people with your story? Are you here to impact more people with your solution? Do you have something to teach? And you want to be teaching it and sharing your message with more people. Because again, speaking is so efficient. I mean, where else can you get so many people into a room that is going to be listening to you, hearing you, and that are interested, that are just really interested? Because those people that are in your audience, they raised their hand to say, I'm interested in this, and I am willing to buy a ticket to be at this conference. I am willing to spend time to be here. I might have to drive in traffic to get to this particular meeting. And so in that sense, there's a lot that is in exchange for hearing your story, for hearing your solutions. But if you're here to impact more people, speaking is definitely one of the ways that you definitely need to be getting out there. So just to recap what these 5 questions are, would getting seen by the right people help you grow your business and fill your client roster? Has it been more than 30 days since you've had a sales call on your calendar? Are you the sort of person that actually is this client is ending and I don't know where my next client is coming from? If you don't have a wait list or a list of hot leads that you can be turning to say, hey, I have an opening. Are you ready to work with me? Do you want to take this slot? You might want to consider speaking. Third one is about efficiency. If you're tired of doing all the things that all these other influencers are telling you to do, make sure you post on social media, make sure you engage so that the algorithm loves you, so that more people see your stuff. Make sure those first few lines are very engaging so that people are curious and they continue reading. Dance for reels. I mean, really, I've decided on what I want my personal brand to be. And so that's why I'm not doing dancing. And I've always when people are going right, I want to go left. I want to do something different. So I'm very much efficiency. I'm an efficiency lover, and that's why I have loved speaking. And it's something that I fell into when I left my corporate job to become a coach. And I had no business plan. I had no marketing skills. I just kind of fell into speaking, and it worked. And that's what got me to here. Fourth question, are you in a busy industry? Is your industry saturated? And it's okay if it is. That just means that there's a lot of people who are in need of that. But how do you stand out in that busy industry? And the last one is, are you here to impact more people? Do you have a story to share? Do you have a message that needs to be heard by more people? Then if speaking is definitely the fastest way to do that. And you've probably heard me say over and over again, but speaking is the fastest way to grow your business. Speaking is the fastest way to grow your email list. Speaking is the fastest way to grow your audience. So till next time, I hope that you will all be in demand.
Thanks for hanging out with me. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And join me over in my private Facebook group for more tips, community, and free trainings. You'll find the link in the show notes. You can also help this podcast reach more listeners by leaving a review. And as a thank you, each month I pick one of my reviewers to win a free coaching call with me. So if you haven't done so already, please leave a review and you could be the next winner.